Good morning, my dear friends. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I am going to solve a Leetcode problem on March 27, that is minimum index of valid split. Let us see the problem statement. An element x of an integer array of length m is dominant if there are having more than half the elements of the array. A element x is said to be dominant. Element x is said to be dominant. When it is said to be dominant, that is when the element in the array contains more than x. Element x contains more than half of the elements. Half of the elements. Half of elements in array. More than half of the elements in array. Let us see. You are given a index zero based index array nums of length n with one dominant element. There will be only one dominant element in an array. You can split nums at an index I into two arrays. Based on the dominant elements, we should split if an array consists of I plus 1 up to so on I plus n. We should split into exactly two arrays. Exactly two arrays. Exactly two arrays. But splitting is done on one condition, that is 0 is less than or I is less than or n minus 1. It will be satisfying for this condition. Now the second condition is if we divide an array into two subarrays, these two subarrays have the same dominant element. That means should contain the same number of dominant elements. Dominant elements. Same number of dominant elements. That means in first array the dominant elements are same and the second array the dominant elements should be same. Again, here nums of I to j denotes the subarray starting with an index I and ending with index j. Both ends being inclusive. Inclusive means we should include the both the ends. We should include the both the ends. Exclude means we should not include this both ends. Both ends. Particularly if j is less than I, then it denotes an empty array. If it is not possible to split an array, then we return minus 1. Now, let us see an example to easily understand this problem statement. First of all, I will go through an example to understand this problem. Whatever they have given in this statement, if I have understood, then I will clearly go through the next approach. If I haven't understood, I will go through the example. I think this is clear to all, and now by seeing an example, it will be clear to all of them. Now, given array is equal to 2, 1, 3, 1, 1, 1, 7, 1, 2, 1. Given array is this. Now, dominant element is which is the dominant element? The element that having more than half of the elements. Dominant element is the element that is having more than half of the elements in an array. How can we calculate the dominant element? Dominant element. Dominant element is more than half. More than half. More than half. That what more than half? Count should be more than half. Count should be more than half. I think by seeing this count keyword, someone should strike that we should use hash map. It is a trick, my dear friends. If we get a keyword called count, then we should count hash map. We should take hash map of integer. I think all of you have known from the day one of my video classes. I have been discussing about the tricks. That is, if we see a count, we use a hash map. We iterate through the array and we keep count of the every element. I hope all of you know the operations, that is get, put, get by default, all the operations in hash map. Now in hash map, the elements will be one element is number of elements 6. One element is 6. 2 is 1, 3 is 1, 7 is 1. 2 is 2, 2 is 2, 3 is 1, 7 is 1. These are the hash map. These are the hash map. Now, they have said that which would be the dominant element. This is the key. That means this is the array element. Array element. This is the array element. This is the count. This is the count. What is the dominant element? The total number of n is 10. The total number of elements count should be greater than or equal to half. That is n by 2. Which element having n by 2? That is 5. N by 2 of number of elements. Which element has having? That is 1 is having dominant element. Now, x is equal, dominant element is equal to, dominant is 1. Now, I think all of you understood how to calculate the dominant element. Now, we should split the array. Split the array. Dominant element, it is clear. If you want, you can go through the example one also. It will be clear to everybody. This is the approach to calculate the dominant element. Now, want to split the elements, split the array. How can we split the array? Split the array. Split the array, they have given the condition that number of elements should be equal. Number of element, that is dominant elements, should be equal in left and right. Because we have to consider two arrays, I will be taking those arrays as one as left and one as right. One as left and one as right. Dominant element should be equal. Number of dominant elements. To keep equal, that means if suppose they have given 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1. I will keep a count that it will run up to the dominant element count. That is, in this value, one consists of 4. That is, count is 4. Count is 4. I will keep a variable left count. That is, left array count. Left count. Left count as 0. I will initialize this element to keep track of the elements. That is, left element should be contained, left array should contain equal number of dominant elements and right array should contain equal number of dominant elements. Left count is equal to 0. So if nums of index at particular index double equal to the if it is equal to the dominant element, then I will increment the left count. I will increment the left count and will keep track of the index value. Will keep track of the index value. They have also given that, let us see an example. It should be greater than or equal to index value left. That is, count into 2 should be greater than equal to index plus 1. Here we are not initiating with 0. We are initiating with one index. One index. So I to keep track, I use I plus 1. I plus 1. Left count incremented plus plus. If I reach the left count element is equal to by 2 of this count, that is 2, then it will be the left array. This will be the particular index value. This will be the one array, this will be the another array. Here you can see that this element consists 2, this element consists 2. That means equal number of dominant elements. I think this is clear to all how to calculate the dominant element and how to split. Let us see the code of today's problem. The code is simple, my dear friends. I have discussed whatever I have discussed it in the brute force or the approach. I will be writing it in the Java code. You can see I first initialize hash map. I keep those elements in the hash map to keep count up, to track count. To track count, I keep it into the, to track count, I keep it into the array. Next, I calculated the n size. If any element n greater than 2 get brings the value of the current value of the current key value of the current key. I keep it in an answer array and dominant will be the x. I iterate through the all the elements until I get the count of dominant elements by 2. Dominant elements count by 2. I keep track of the count, that is left count. Left count. I keep track of the left count. If it is equal, I will increment. If the particular index value, that is for the leftmost, if left count is greater than I plus 1, that is particular index value, or right, this is right. If I calculate the answer, it is the left, it is the right. If it is returning true, then I will return the index. Here, the condition is not possible. If condition is not possible, after total iteration of the array, I will return -1. This is the code for this today's problem. I think it is very easy problem. Very easy problem. If you know the concepts of hash maps, and how to iterate. Today concepts are how to iterate and maps, how to iterate in arrays. These are the today's topics. I hope this approach is clear to all. If you haven't understood, please go through once again and watch, my dear friends. It is so easy problem. If you make a habit of daily solving a lead code problem, in day one it will be difficulty. Day two it will be difficulty. Day three also it will be difficulty. But difficulty will be varying. On day nth day, it will be easier. On the nth day, it will be easier. It will become habit of solving a problem daily. That means you will sharp your brain. Thank you, my dear friends. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel and share with your friends. Please do subscribe.